Google Analytics 4 improves upon all these fronts, and we're going to dig into them individually. The flexible and machine learning-based attribution models are made more flexible through a new exploratory interface and data model. Report limitations are highly scalable, and this all becomes more trustworthy with a stronger user management model. Let's dig a little bit deeper. While Google Universal did introduce very crude attribution reporting within its own interface, there's much stronger support in Google Analytics 4. First off, you can select which model you would like to use. We will get into these models later. However, this is already likely getting you a little bit more excited considering this affects all reports. Oh, and if you change your mind, this model will apply to both historical and future data if you want to switch around and see what the data looks like. Understanding the customer journey is made up of a series of touch points, not just sessions. And the new interface really allows for this exploration. As you can see here, we can compare between early touch points, mid touch points, late touch points across the journey. Building upon the power of segments with the refined user-based architecture, Google has introduced several powerful templates that can be customized, which we'll be doing. This even includes powerful predictive audiences based upon buying and users that may churn. These will be explored much more in detail in a later section. And if you don't consider your business an e-commerce-based business, we'll still introduce ways to leverage this data. While the user event property-based data model still allows for much more user-friendly pathing based upon user events. Yes, user events, not just sessions. Though there are session-based events that can be used, such as first visit, session start, and more. Again, these reports will populate retroactively as long as the events and pages have been collected. Speaking of events, which is really anything that happens within the user experience, including a page view, these are easily turned on and off and used as conversions within GA4, akin to goals in Google Analytics Universal. Moving way beyond the customization of GA Universal goals, events can also be created or modified based upon several conditions, as you can see here. Again, we'll get into much more detail about these areas later on in the training. Google is also being very generous with the amount of event parameters per event, 25 now. Clearly, certainly far better than the 3 we had in the past. Cross-domain tracking has also gotten significantly easier to implement within Universal, but GA4 makes it super easy to add or delete your domain names with no additional customization on the tagging side. GA4 also adds cross-platform support to add your iOS, Android, as well as your web experiences together into a single property. Even with all the great UI and reporting advancements in today's modern stack, all this functionality is virtually useless without a means to export it, transform it, and unify it with other data in order to create holistic reports and analysis. Well, now you can. Gain access to both daily and streaming reporting right into BigQuery. Yes, only BigQuery, but you can get up to 1 million events per day, free. This allows for the complete data model to be seamlessly accessed instead of involving all the complex custom dimension-based reporting hacks we used to depend upon in the past. The cookieless web is upon us, and Google Analytics 4 has made significant progress in utilizing your own user ID with known cookies and mobile IDs, and then combining this with their own vast user signal data. While this has unfortunately led to maybe some data not matching up with BigQuery data and some other internal systems, the model used to estimate cookieless users is more adequate than the great unknown of the past. Analysts will finally be able to view and explore users who jump from platform to platform. By the way, this is the same user unification plan Google will be using within Google Chrome. So they have a bit of skin in the game beyond just legalese. Speaking of legalese, Google Analytics 4 was also architected with new privacy regulations front of mind, including the ability to delete user data upon request, and here's a kicker, auto deletion of user level historical data after 14 months. Again, 14 months. Another reason why we want to push this data to BigQuery. So again, in summary, While there are countless improvements in our opinion, they really fall into four main categories. The way Google Analytics 4 treats users, and thus has a better control over attribution, a much more flexible data model and setup, and full access to your clickstream data. Okay, so these are some positive changes, right? Perhaps we can make some lemonade out of the lemons after all.